Welcome back, everyone, to the world of solo leveling. Taisik's mind reeled. The speed, the power. This was no E-rank hunter. Yet the man had no reason to lie. Not here. The pieces clicked into a damning conclusion. A second awakening. He remembered the rumors buzzing through the association about a recently reawakened hunter, one they had failed to properly identify. Of all the wretched luck, Taisik seethed internally. He had meticulously vetted the hunter roster for this raid, and this one variable, this anomaly, had slipped through. A cold smile touched his lips. This unforeseen complication would demand a significant bonus from his employer. He licked his lips, the taste of promised wealth momentarily overshadowing the danger standing before him. The memory surfaced with perfect clarity. A few days earlier, in a quiet cafe, Taisik had met with a middle-aged man. The man had begged for a meeting, his desperation palpable. He spoke in a haunted mumble. "I've heard that what happens in the dungeon stays in the dungeon." Before Taisik could question him, the man slid a bank statement across the table. The balance read, 2,000,000,001. "Why are you giving me this?" Taisik asked, his suspicion growing. The man's story tumbled out. His daughter was violated, and then took her own life. His wife hospitalized from the shock. The monster responsible was one of the probational prisoners under Taisik's supervision, set to walk free in a few years. "My daughter hung herself. How can I sleep at night knowing that?" The man's face was a mask of sorrow and rage. He bowed his head. "I beg you, sir." A long silence stretched between them. Taisik leaned back, a slow, predatory grin spreading across his face. "Do you know why I joined the surveillance team?" he began, his voice a low purr. "A B-rank hunter like me could have any guild, but I enjoy fighting humans much more than magic beasts." He let the statement hang in the air, watching the hope drain from the man's face before delivering his final blow. "This money," Taisik said, tapping the bank statement, "plus an extra billion to get rid of the other hunters. Can you do that?" Back in the present, Taisik's mind raced. A reawakened hunter changed everything. The price for this job had just skyrocketed. He met Jinwoo's unwavering gaze. This was a truly challenging opponent. In a calculated move, Taisik tried to talk his way out. He justified killing the prisoners, calling them animals who deserved to be put down. "I don't want to kill you guys," he lied smoothly. "Can you just forget what happened today?" Jinwoo saw through the deception instantly. "You should have said all that before you attacked us." Taisik's friendly facade vanished. So, it would be a fight after all. His eyes turned feral as he assessed his opponent. The dagger in Jinwoo's hand was noted and dismissed. An assassin type, just like him. But a rookie, reliant on his new strength. Taisik would crush him with experience. "I'll teach you a thing or two," Taisik sneered, producing his own knife. "Can you do this?" With a flicker, he vanished. The stealth skill erased him completely, sight, sound, and scent. It was the ultimate tool of an assassin. He reappeared in a flash, his knife aimed perfectly for Jinwoo's exposed back. The fight was over. Clank! Sparks flew as Jinwoo's dagger met his, blocking the lethal strike with impossible precision. The stealth skill broke. Taisik's eyes widened in shock. Jinwoo's face was a blank mask, but his voice was cold and clear. "Finally, it's here." A spike of pure fear, cold and sharp, pierced through Taisik's confidence. What just happened? The notification was a relief. Jinwoo had baited Taisik into attacking first, triggering the urgent quest he needed. Now, it was his turn. As their daggers clashed in a stalemate, Jinwoo stomped hard on Taisik's foot. The B-rank hunter recoiled in startled pain, and in that split second, Jinwoo activated dash. He became a blur, closing the distance and driving his dagger into Taisik's thigh. The drain debuff took effect, and Taisik's health began to tick down. But the experienced hunter fought on, blocking Jinwoo's attacks despite his injury. Their speeds were matched. To break the deadlock, Jinwoo focused his energy and met Taisik's gaze. Skill. Murderous intent has been activated. Debuff. Panic has been activated. All of the opponent's abilities will decrease by 50% for 1 minute. Taesik's movements turned sluggish, as if he were moving underwater. Seizing the opening, Jinwoo charged in, accepting a shallow cut to his cheek to get within range. He drove his dagger deep into Taesik's chest. The fight was over. As Taesik fell, he whispered his final words, revealing he had tied up the prisoner for a slow death. Jinwoo listened, then removed the dagger, letting the body drop. Ping. You have completed urgent quest. Defeat the enemies. Rewards have been delivered. The reward was only 5 ability points, less than he expected. But then, a glow from Taesik's corpse caught his eye. He reached for it, his heart leaping. You have discovered Runestone, Stealth. Would you like to acquire it? A Runestone, the incredibly rare stealth skill. Without a second thought, Jinwoo acquired it and crushed the stone in his hand. Red light swirled around him and seeped into his body. You learned skill. Stealth. He immediately tested it, vanishing from sight. But just seconds later, the skill deactivated. Skill. Stealth was deactivated due to lack of mana. He checked the skill details. 200 mana to activate, and 10 mana drained every second. With his low intelligence stat, he only had enough for half a minute of use. It was a powerful, but severely limited tool for now. He headed for the boss chamber. He found the bound prisoner Taesik had mentioned. Without a word, Jinwoo gagged the screaming man and dragged him into the hobgoblin lair, using him as bait to distract the minions. With the monsters occupied, he activated Dash and beheaded the boss hobgoblin in a single clean strike. You have defeated the master of the dungeon. You have leveled up. He cleared the remaining hobgoblins, leveling up once more. As the dungeon began to rumble, signaling its imminent closure, Jinwoo took one last look around. He had gained 2 levels, a new, rare skill, and a grim satisfaction. Jinwoo stepped from the closing gate just as the surveillance team was arriving, their faces somber as he confirmed the devastating toll. Of the 9 hunters who entered, only 3 had survived. An association employee quickly briefed them. The mastermind had confessed, the president of Jumrong Industries, who had hired Taesik to avenge his daughter. The motive was clear. Their own actions were legally justified as self-defense. But one pressing question cut through the formalities. Who killed Taesik Kang, a B-rank hunter? A team member asked, his tone demanding an answer. Just as Jinwoo prepared to speak, to unveil the truth of his reawakening, a calm voice interceded. I did it. All eyes turned to Cheol's song. The declaration seemed impossible, a one-armed C-rank hunter defeating a B-ranker, but Cheol's gaze never wavered. He simply gestured toward Juhi. Don't you see who was with me? The implication was masterful. With the support of a fellow B-rank hunter, even a healer, the feat became plausible. The team accepted the story, the logic satisfying their need for an explanation, and Cheol departed with them to finalize the report. In a quiet moment, Jinwoo approached the veteran. Why did you lie for me? Cheol met his gaze, his voice low and steady. I thought you had your reasons for staying in the shadows. Was I overstepping? Not at all, Jinwoo replied, the weight of the older hunter's protection settling on him. It was a debt he wouldn't forget. Later, under the glow of streetlights, a different tension hung in the air. Jinwoo walked with Juhi, the silence between them filled with unspoken thoughts. The easy comfort they once shared was gone, replaced by the palpable, formidable energy that now radiated from him. She stopped, her hand slightly unsteady as she offered him the E-rank essence stone from the temple. I should return this. I don't think I can keep our dinner plans. Jinwoo understood. The horrors of the dungeon had finally claimed another victim. You don't have to do that, he said, his voice gentle. I'm going back my hometown next week, she confessed. Her decision to leave Seoul, and her life as a hunter, laid bare. She looked at him then. Truly looked, her eyes tracing the unyielding resolve in his. It was the same fierce will that had been their salvation in the temple, now magnified and terrifying. Her heart beat a frantic rhythm, a confusing mix of fear and longing. But she buried the words she truly wanted to say behind a bright, fragile smile. If you're ever in Busan, give me a call. I'll treat you to the best sashimi. Sounds good, he replied, a soft smile touching his own lips. With a final, unspoken farewell, Joo-hee turned and walked away. Jinwoo watched her go, standing alone on the path home. One chapter had ended, but his true journey, the relentless climb to power, was now truly his to walk. His new phone had finally arrived. While waiting for the elevator, he powered it on. The screen lit up with a flood of notifications. He dialed the number that had called him incessantly. A pop song blared through the speaker for a moment, before the line connected. "Hello? It's me," Jinwoo said, a slight chuckle in his voice. He'd already guessed. "You can call this number from now on." "Oh, you finally got your cell, boss," Jinho's excited voice confirmed it. "I was about to call you. I have all the squad members now, so I'll pick you up tomorrow." Jinwoo grinned, picturing the young man's eager face. "Great. See you tomorrow." As he hung up, the elevator arrived with a soft ding. Finally, a raid was scheduled. Jinwoo's heart beat with anticipation. Late at night on the U.S. East Coast, Dong-soo Hwang, a main S-rank hunter for the powerful scavenger guild, received a devastating call. His brother Dong-suk was dead, killed in a C-rank gate. The details made no sense. His 8 squad members were killed, and the other 2 survived. Dong-soo's voice was dangerously calm. The survivors were a D-ranker and an E-ranker. His brother would never have sacrificed himself for temporary hires. This wasn't a dungeon accident. It was an execution. The brother who had always protected him was gone, murdered before Dong-soo could bring him to America. Rage, cold and sharp, began to replace his grief. "Fax me the info on the 2 survivors," he ordered, hanging up and immediately calling his manager, Laura. "Laura, what happens if I kill someone in South Korea?" After a brief, stunned silence, she outlined the legal technicalities. As a U.S. citizen, he would be tried in America. The guild could likely negotiate a reduced sentence. It was a green light. "Clear my schedule. I'm going to Korea. Tell upper management it's a bereavement trip for my brother's funeral." He hung up, cutting off her condolences. He wasn't interested. The fax machine hummed, printing the profiles of the 2 hunters. Dong-soo studied the documents and photos. D-rank Jinho-yu and E-rank Jinwoo Sung. His resolve solidified into a cold, murderous certainty. These 2 held the answers. "I can probably get some answers from these 2, he muttered, his gaze burning into their pictures. And if his suspicions were confirmed, they'll regret coming out of that dungeon alive. And so, a new and terrifying threat is born. An S-rank hunter, one of the most powerful individuals in the world, now has Jinwoo and Jinho in his crosshairs. Driven by vengeance for his brother's death, Dong-soo Hwang is coming to Korea. The fragile peace Jinwoo has built is about to shatter. The climb to power is never a straight path, and the most dangerous enemies are often those you never saw coming. The hunter is about to become the hunted.